This week's video, fake or real, we take a look at filters, in particular fuel filters, and talk from personal experience. We talk about oil, fake, and Cindy has a go with something which is, well, better than a real thing. And I sort out an electrical issue that's been bugging us for some time, but we had to come to Carper's Gate to fix. Hello, today's electrical repair day. We've got a number of jobs that we've accumulated over the last couple of weeks, some of them over the last couple of months, and certainly one of them over the last year. So we have our Multiplus, which is an inverter charger, and that does our lithium, and it has a tail coming off it to charge our engine battery. But we also have another battery charger, which is the C-Trick, I think it is, the original one, which used to do the house batteries, used to do the engine battery and our bell thruster battery. Now it just does the engine and bell thruster, and again we can turn that on and off, but by plugging it in and unplugging it. So I want to interrupt that line and put a double pole switch in, so that I can switch it on easily and effortlessly without having to go behind the cushions, and you know, just make it easier, simple. Okay, so here we go. This is, if you can see that, this here is our Crystech charger. It's the original one that was with the boat, and you can see it's set for AGM. All the dip switches are done on that for AGM. This is the power feed for it. So there's a live neutral and earth, or a hot a neutral and a ground there. You can see they're marked up on this plug. That plug goes in the bottom there, and there is excess cable here, and I think that's probably because they use the same wiring loom on the bigger boat, which makes it longer. So I have this amount of cable spare. What we're going to do is interrupt that cable there, put a double pole switch on it like so, mount the double pole switch in there. I'm just looking for somewhere to mount it. Now, all in the back here you can see where my inverter switch and fuses are that I put in, are all mounted onto here, which looks like the hull. Well, at that point the hull has got an extra composite layer in it, which allows you to screw in. Now the other thing we could do is move this charger slightly that way, put the switch in next to it, put the switch in here somewhere. That composite only goes down as far as here, so I can't put the switch in the bottom there. Just thinking how we could do this. I want to keep everything neat and tidy. I'm going to open up this next panel and see if there's room to move, because we've got spare cable here, you see. Again, that loop is long enough to move the charger that way by 4 inches, 100mm. There's enough cable to go and put that switch in here. I think there probably is. Okay, well, it's now the next day. It's pretty sunny outside, as you can see. A little bit of swell in the marina. and I've finished putting this double poled switch in, moved the Crystech charger over. And the reason I did it like that was it was easier to refix these ducting conduits, plastic conduits, in the place where they originally were, and then just coil them down the bottom, tie wrap them up. So that's it all working now, and hopefully the boat will move. The sun, there we go. So that's the charger on, and I've just marked it up, Crystech charger, and this is for the engine and bow thruster AGM batteries. So that's the job all done. I've got to do exactly the same now on our heater element. So let's show you the circuit diagram. And this is our circuit schematic for the boat. I did this, and it does actually want updating. I'll show you that in a minute. And here is our AGM charger, and this is where I've interrupted the live neutral on earth in order to disconnect or turn off the AGM charger. And that's because if we left the AGM charger plugged in without that switch, when the inverter was turned on, creating 240 volts, the AGM charger would be on. And that's fine while we've got plenty of sun, but I don't want it charging the AGM batteries overnight. Both the AGM charger and our hot water element are fed from 240 volts from a distribution board here. And of course that can only be turned on and off by flipping the breakers. And I wanted an independent switch for both of these. Let's show you the other circuit diagram. I've now updated the schematic, and you'll see that I've added our hot water boiler or clarifier. This has an 800 watt element inside it running at 240 volts, so I don't want that on all the time. Putting a double pole switch into that circuit there will allow me to switch it on and off at will when we're at anchor and using the inverter. Handy, eh? Both of these appliance circuits are protected back at the main consumer unit, which is shown here. Now you can make circuit diagrams or schematics like this using Microsoft Word or Max Pages. And don't forget to check out our Boat Electrical Made Easy series of videos. They're on a playlist, easy to find on our YouTube page. Wait. That's a cracking job.
My annual cooker clean. So today we lifted the whole cooker out.
Yeah.
Which was not easy. So I could get down behind it to clean in all the little nooks and crannies that I can't reach normally.
And they do get dirty behind, don't they?
They do.
It doesn't matter what you do.
Try to keep it clean as we can during the year, but there are bits you can't reach.
And this stuff you're using is the Turkish equivalent of Salvo Auto. Yeah, Auto Sol.
Yeah.
It's like a paste cleaner, and it's absolutely brilliant. And look at that. Yeah. Look at that. That is an 8-year-old cooker that's used probably most days in one capacity or another, or has been, and it's come up absolutely brilliant. It always does.
It is hard work. I've been doing this since 11 o'clock this morning, and it's now 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock.
Okay, I did stop for a quick slurp of a beer.
It's beer time! Yeah. So, just another job on our big long list of winter jobs. Everything gets done in the winter clean. That's come up really nice as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Everything gets done, stripped down and cleaned off and what have you as we go through the winter, ready for the next season. Meanwhile, I'm on the computer, I'm editing the next video, and that's the other computer which is rendering something. Yep. So, and the place is a mess because we're working. What you see is what you get with us, isn't it? This is a Delphi HDF 296. It's a pre-filter and water separator. Some of you might be more familiar of it in this guise. And basically it's a filter that takes a cartridge like this one. But you can also buy other cartridges to fit the same filter or water separator. We use these ones, the Perkins or Volvo Penta, but we have used others like these ones, the Bosch. Recently we had a bit of a shock with some filters that we'd bought. This is the filter in its original box, and it looks absolutely pucker. There's the O-rings that fit in it. They're all correct. They're even marked up with the colours. And here's the filter, and it looks okay until you examine it closely. Until you start studying. If you have a look here, the distance between the edge of the filter and the filter element is not quite right. Let's show you what I mean. The distance here should be about 5 to 6 millimeters, and it's not. You don't notice it until you try and fit the filter. So if you look at this filter, which is a Fram and an original, you'll see that the distance is about 5 to 6 millimeters, roughly 1/4 of an inch, and the same on this Perkins filter, and the same on this Delphi. On the fake Bosch one, it's next to nothing. A couple of weeks ago, one of our subscribers told us about some fake oil that he'd had, and I thought I'd look into it. Here's some fakes and genuines. The genuines are all on the left hand side and the fakes are on the right. Can you spot the difference? When you start doing some research into fake versus genuine articles when it comes to oil, filters and marine engine parts, there's an awful lot of fakes out there. Now luckily these are the only fakes that we've ever bought, and we've learnt our lesson about buying stuff from eBay. Now I'm not saying everything on eBay is fake, but there's an awful lot of stuff that is. Fakes aren't always that easy to spot either. But that doesn't mean that you can't buy cheaper parts than the genuine article from the original manufacturer. My advice would be go to a reputable dealer, and remember that your engine may not be made by the person whose name is stamped on the cover plate. For example, our Volvo Penta is actually a Perkins, and it's the same with many other marine diesel engines. They're simply rebadged when they're marinised. So search around. If you go to our website, which is www.svimpavidus.com, you'll find some recommendations for places to buy spare parts. If you've had a bad experience with something which was fake, i.e. you thought was genuine, let us know in the comments. We'd like to know about it. When I was putting last week's video together, I kept thinking of this piece of music that I wanted to put with the drone footage, and I couldn't remember what it was. Bit late now, but I remembered. Thanks for watching. Sail safe.